Welcome to Prime Trends USA, where we dive deep into timeless truths from the Bible and explore how they apply to our lives today. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an inspiring story. And if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. We've got something special for you today. Today, we're tackling one of the most challenging teachings of Jesus, loving your enemies. Our guiding verse is Matthew 5 verse 44, where Jesus says, "But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Now, let's be honest, this isn't easy. Loving people who are kind to us is one thing, but loving those who hurt us? That's next level. But here's the thing, Jesus didn't just say it, he lived it. So, let's dive into this powerful teaching and see how it can transform our lives. Jesus is sitting on a mountainside, surrounded by hundreds of people. They've come to hear his teachings, and he's about to drop a truth bomb that will shake their world. He says, "You have heard that it was said, 'Love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." Can you imagine the gasps in the crowd? This was radical. This was revolutionary. This was hard. Now, let's fast forward to the ultimate example of Jesus living out this teaching. It's the night before his crucifixion. Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane praying. Suddenly, a crowd arrives, armed with swords and clubs. They've come to arrest him. One of Jesus' disciples, Peter, pulls out his sword and cuts off the ear of the high priest's servant. But what does Jesus do? He heals the man's ear. Even in that moment of betrayal and violence, Jesus responds with love and compassion. And then on the cross, as he's dying, Jesus prays for his enemies. He says, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Can you imagine that? Loving your enemies even as they're crucifying you? That's the kind of love Jesus calls us to. Now, let's bring this into our world. I want to share a real-life story that shows what it looks like to love your enemies. A few years ago, there was a man named John who was betrayed by his best friend. His friend spread lies about him, ruined his reputation, and even cost him his job. John was devastated. He felt angry, hurt, and betrayed. But then John remembered Jesus' words, "Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." So he made a decision he would forgive his friend. He started praying for him every day. He even reached out to him and said, "I forgive you and I want to restore our friendship." It wasn't easy. It took time. But eventually their relationship was restored. John's friend apologized and they became closer than ever. That's the power of loving your enemies. It doesn't just change them, it changes you. Now it's your turn. I want you to think about this. Who in your life feels like an enemy right now? Maybe it's someone who hurt you, betrayed you, or just rubs you the wrong way. Take a moment to write down one way you can show love to that person this week. It could be a kind word, a prayer, or even just letting go of bitterness. And hey, I'd love to hear your ideas. Drop them in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to love like Jesus. Friends, loving your enemies isn't just a nice idea. It's a commandment. Matthew 5 verse 44 reminds us that this is how we reflect God's love to the world. So, let's make a commitment today to love boldly, even when it's hard. And remember, you're not alone in this. God's love is the source of all love, and he's always with us, empowering us to love like him. If this message touched your heart, give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs a reminder to love their enemies. And don't forget to subscribe to Prime Trends USA for more inspiring Bible stories and life lessons. Let's grow together in faith and love. Thanks for watching, and remember, you are loved and you are called to love, even your enemies. Until next time, take care and keep shining God's light. Bye for now.